It's Toby from Heavyweight MMA, today with MMA Fighter Fergus Jenkins before his fight pro boxing debut against Superstar H, Hawera Adams on June 5th. How are you, bro?
Good, mate. Thanks for having me, Toby. Cheers, bro.
Bro, have you been watching too many 1 minute scraps? What's making you want to just throw hands?
I have been watching the 1 minute scraps. It's always a good bit of entertainment, but I wouldn't say that's influenced my decision here. But no, I just thought be good for a switch up, just work on sharpening up all those striking techniques, and just rounding out my game. And that's been a lot of fun, like preparing for the fight. It's like obviously training is a little bit different. Specializing in one pursuit rather than focusing on the full MMA game. But yeah, I can see you definitely take a lot of head knocks in a boxing training camp. So I quite like MMA, being able to use my grappling. But I think it's only going to help round out my full arsenal of martial arts.
Coming from Canterbury Fight Centre under Coach Hostile Karl, bro, I imagine he'd be all for people doing that, rounding out their skills, trying different forms of MMA, and combat sports, right?
Mm. Mm. Yeah, no, he keeps saying every time I see him, he's like, "This is the most excited I've been for a fight, and I don't know how long." So I think he's excited to see me throw some hands rather than backpacking.
That's the thing, bro. But it's such a different game, right? Like you got so
Mm.
many weapons in an MMA fight, and then you
Mm.
simplify it down to just two weapons,
Mm.
bro. Like, and
Mm.
if you look at that, it's a complicated game,
Mm.
right? It's a tricky thing.
Mm.
How does it feel
Mm.
taking all those weapons away?
Yeah, it feels interesting. I mean, I'm still obviously mixing in other aspects of training, but in terms of like for this fight specifically, it's really interesting. I feel like you have to be so disciplined in boxing, like you just can't lose your focus. And like even compared to MMA, where you can be a bit more creative. You can if you're struggling in one area, you can compensate by. I think in MMA, like your strategy is so important, like how you approach a fight with all the different weapons that you've got in your arsenal. I think in boxing, the most important thing is just being laser focused and disciplined, because as you say, you've only got two weapons to work with, and you have to be like have surgical precision with your punches, with your defense. So I think it's that kind of mindset. And if you look at fighters in MMA, even like someone like Ilya, I think you can see those aspects of like discipline and laser focus in his fights. He sort of brings that boxing mentality of like, if you get hit by a shot, you just stay in the present moment, and you're focused on just like seek and destroy. So it's been cool sort of working those muscles for the
Yeah,
boxing.
man. And I've mentioned before a while back I was chatting with CKB's Eugene Behrman, and he mentioned about
Mm.
your punching power being pretty
Mm.
strong compared to, as one of the standout guys with punching power. We haven't
Yeah.
really seen that in your fights though.
No.
So is there a chance that now we're just able to use two hands that we might be able to see that power, bro?
Yeah, well, hopefully my opponent's not watching this interview. I don't want to scare him away, but yeah, I mean, surely. I mean, I feel like a big part in my fights is of taking the path of least resistance, and taking the fight to the ground. So now that I have to stand and bang, obviously I'm going to be unleashing those punches. But it's interesting because he would have made those comments based on holding pads for me in like 2023, which is it's interesting to think back to that, because I would have been like 22, like walking around at like 84 kilos. Now I'm walking around like 95, 96, and I'm a few years older. So it's like I must be, surely I'm punching harder now. So that's cool to think about too. And obviously focusing on the boxing techniques and doing a lot of strength and conditioning. I'm feeling like a more explosive and dynamic athlete, like in the gym, just thanks to just some new angles to training that my coaches are bringing. So I'm definitely like feeling that come out of me more as an athlete and as a fighter. So no, I'm super pumped to unleash that in the fight. And also fighting in Christchurch again, or Kaiapoi, just outside of Christchurch. It's gonna be cool to show that in front of the home crowd.
So based on what you're saying, you might actually decapitate him with a punch. That's joking.
Yeah. No, we're actually on a power reduction program right now, trying to avoid that situation.
Fair enough, bro. Hey, one interesting thing, like going across from MMA to boxing. I mean, there's not a heap of grappling in it, but there are some exchanges, especially if you're infighting. Is that something that you actually work and practice to be a bit of a infighter in that, because you have a bit of an advantage in that sort of space in terms of body control and whatnot? Because I think it would help, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of that, I would say. But I would say if you break down my MMA game, I'm more of like a shoot boxer. Like I stay long, use my long weapons, and then when my opponent has to cover the distance to get inside my long range attacks, that's when I utilize my grappling. So yeah, I have obviously got some of that clinch work coming from MMA that I can utilize, but I'd say my bread and butter's using my long lanky build.
So you're
Yeah.
basically like a range sort of fighter then in your boxing sort of style.
Yeah. But obviously, with boxing, you have to like with as you say, with coming down to just your two weapons, your left and right hand. In boxing, sometimes you got to stand your ground and just throw some power at people. So I've definitely that's been another good aspect to the boxing training, is just getting more comfortable exchanging punches in the pocket. So yeah, I think that's another thing that I can bring back to MMA and have another have more tools in my arsenal.
Yeah, when you're talking a minute ago, I just crossed across my head like obviously it will benefit your MMA game long term, right? To have some boxing experience just to maybe bring the hands up to speed.
Mhm.
And it just crossed across my mind for a second. It's not so related, but remember John Wayne Parr from Australia, went from like Thai boxing to boxing for a while, and he was knocking out heaps
Okay.
of people and that, and then he went back to Muay Thai again, and he just had such strong hands in Muay Thai, after doing the
Yeah.
boxing stint. So hopefully that'll be what'll
Interesting.
come back to your MMA game.
Yeah, I didn't know that about John Wayne Parr, but that makes sense. And I guess going into that specialist realm and taking that back, you've got a distinct advantage. Mm.
And bro, you mentioned the training. What sort of changes have you made other than getting punched in the head 10 times more than normal?
Uh, yeah, just what like my coaches have been bringing in. Just I feel like compared to some of my previous training, or I guess a lot of the training that I've been doing in the past, which is probably more like steady state, keeping a similar tempo, more like more like short bursts of explosiveness, and developing that side of me as an athlete as well. But yeah, it's obviously with a sport like MMA, it's keeping everything in balance, because there's so many different attributes that you want to have from an athleticism standpoint.
Bro, when you mentioned before about that head contact and whatnot, it's something that's always sort of played on my mind a bit, like the difference between boxing and MMA and kickboxing, how there's so much contact with the head, and I've hung around a few like pro boxers in my time and seen them spar heavily like a few times a
Mm,
week, and just
mm,
wondering like long-term damage, right? Like it's something that
mm.
has to be on your mind a little bit with boxing, right?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. That's I'll talk to some people and they're doing like 3 sparring sessions a week, and I'm like, man, that's nuts. That's nuts. Like, definitely, that's why it's been fun doing this one boxing fight, but I wouldn't want to be a boxer personally. Like, MMA's got its own dangers, and it's probably more wear and tear on the body overall. But I think in terms of knocks to the head, it's you're taking much less damage compared to boxing.
Yeah. And your opponent, man, Hawera Adams, I was trying to search him around the place and I could barely find anything. I saw a little interview where he's
Yeah,
chatting, seems like a pretty cool guy. But there
yeah,
was only a bit of him shadow boxing. I couldn't see any fights, man. What's his
yeah.
skill level like?
Yeah, I've only seen one fight. He had a fight recently. He lost to another boxer in Dunedin. He seems, yeah. I guess yeah. Like he swings pretty wild, so that there's obviously like some danger there. Got to keep the defense sharp. And then with him coming from a boxing background as well, and I'm stepping into his sport, I've obviously got to respect that he's got more boxing pedigree or whatever. So we've definitely sort of like myself and my coaches and the coaches that helped me prepare been looking at the footage and have definitely like developed a game plan around what he does. So yeah, we've definitely found like a few openings.
Nice, man. Nice. All right, bro. So after the boxing fight, is there any plans in MMA career? Does it feel like it's going a bit slowly? For me, it feels like it's going a bit slowly. I'd like to see Fergus Jenkins in action a bit more. What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's I guess I've just been sort of playing. Yeah, I've been pretty busy, bro. I've been like traveling and stuff. Was up to Auckland doing some training, and then I came back and got the invitation to go out and train with the CK or go and help the CKB team for Olberg's takeover in Miami. So I was busy with a bit of that, and then I guess I've just had some career advice to take this boxing match rather than do an MMA fight from some high up places. So I was like, okay, I will listen to that instruction and do this boxing match instead of an MMA fight, and then see what the next step in my MMA career is going to be after that.
And what would be the ideal step, bro? Would it be to get into one of those contender or anything like that to have a shot at UFC or something else?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping something like that materializes. It's been cool seeing like lots of my other cohort from like my amateur career starting to get those opportunities, like Kasib on road to UFC, a few other people, Ollie just getting his shot in the UFC. Yeah, it's been cool seeing that. So that's just motivating me even more to hopefully get my opportunity as well.
Yeah, bro. You mentioned Kasib. They're coming over to Macau, bro. That's where I live. It's
Yeah,
it's awesome, bro. I'm looking forward to it. Hey,
yeah, man. That's pretty soon, isn't it? What is that like?
next weekend, bro. Not this one, but the
Yeah,
next
next week.
weekend. Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. No, that's exciting as. And you reckon I watched your interview with Kasib and you reckon he's got a good shot there?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it should be good, bro. I'm looking forward to it so much.
Yeah.
The first thing I did when the tickets came out was just buy the ones for the road to UFC. I don't really care about the UFC so much, but
Yeah.
I missed out on those
Yeah.
actually because they went out straight away. But I got the other two, so it'll be cool to see a
Yeah.
couple of Aussies and Kiwis fight. Yeah, it's good.
There weren't too many like names on the actual UFC card that you were excited
They haven't
about.
put the best card. They've got Cody Haddon's on there. That's the only fight on there that I'm kind of interested in. Oh, you've got Jake Matthews as well. So those two fights would be good
Yeah.
as well. I'm just waiting to see
Yeah.
if I can scam a ticket somehow. But yeah, hopefully I can.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, cool. All right, bro. Thanks for the chat, bro. Looking forward to the fight. Is there anywhere people can actually watch it, bro? Is it going to be streamed or it's just an in-house sort of boxing event?
That's a good question. With this, I don't actually know if it's streamed. Yeah, I've only seen tickets
Yeah.
and tables advertised.
Cool. I'll check it out. I'll
to,
have a look.
to
I'll
check.
look into it and see if there is
Yeah,
or not. Yeah, cool.
yeah,
All right,
man.
bro. Good to see you, man. Take care. Best of luck in the fight and looking forward
Yeah,
to you smashing out that power. I want to see that
mm,
power unleashed
yeah,
on
yeah.
Hawera Adams. All right.
It's about time.
All right, bro. Thanks, man. Thanks for
Yeah,
your time,
cheers,
mate.
Toby. Thank you. Cheers,
Cheers.
man.